Hi guys, how you going? Campbell here from Autodidactic channel. Hope you're having an amazing day. Thanks for joining me. And as always guys, autodidactic means to be self-educated. And believe me, in this world, in this time, we all need to be self-educated because it is clear that we are not being told the truth. Now what we're looking at here are cymatics. These are the images and the geometry that are produced from music. So here, in this instance, we've got sand on a metal plate, and then they hook up music to the plate, so that they get the vibrations and they play the music through, and this is the result. We get these geometric patterns that are very, very reminiscent of a lot of other things that we see around us. So this, what you're looking at guys, you're actually seeing sound and vibration. This one I think is water, and they just have a pool of water and they shine light into it and play the music through it. So we're going to jump into this, have a bit of a deeper look. So thanks for joining me, and let's get into it. Okay guys, so here are some more cymatics. Now this is actually the scale, the musical scale played through water. This is water, and so what they do is, just so you know, they get a piece of plastic and they fill it with water. They lift up the corners, and they sit that water on a metal plate, and then they play like a tone generator. They hook it up and play that through the metal plate, and that's why you can see it's like a circle, because that's the bottom of the plastic. So this is actually a picture through water, and as you can see, it's pretty cool stuff. Look at these shapes that get generated. You can see in the middle here, got a perfect hexagon. We've even got these little bits on the corners, and then of course we have these outer bits. Quite interesting. So you can just see all the shapes generated there. Lots of pentagons and hexagons and things. Now I'm just going to wait till the next tone comes. Here we go. Now look at that. That's pretty cool. And then it goes into shapes like this. It goes straight into the, what's that? That's another hexagon, six-sided, and then you can see inside there's more. This one has a circle in the middle. We have all these, this doubling up that we see a lot on. I mean, you do see it on Starforts, the ones that you can see it that aren't covered, but you see it a lot in mandalas, different sort of traditional arts. You can just see there's a nice star right there. That's a 6-pointer. You can just see the geometry and the way it's set out. This is sound, guys. We're looking at sound, at frequency, different tones. And as we know, everything is based on frequency. Everything is energy at its base core, and energy is basically frequency in motion. It's different frequencies. I think I missed that last one. Look at that. So this is pretty cool. Yeah, so there's different frequencies, and the Earth has its own frequency. It has the Schumann resonance, which is a frequency, it's a tone that's generated by the Earth. So if these are different tones, and these are the shapes we get from different, different tones, different keys of music, then does this have something to do with Starforts? because Starforts seem to be built pretty much anywhere. Like that, they can be on cliffs, cliffs, the top of mountains, next to rivers, on the edge of the ocean, in the middle of a desert, just anywhere. And what it looks like is, it looks like they're fairly random as far as the position they're in. Like, they seem to be built for the position they're in. That's why they're all slightly different. So what I'm saying is, are they built on energy points, on meridian lines, on vortex points, for a reason to do with harmonizing energy and frequency? And were they even were they harvesting? Look at that one. Were they harvesting energy? The energy of sound. Because look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points coming out. 1, 2, 3. We've got a sort of half on there, sort of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the middle, and you can see, these pointy bits. So this way on the outside, and then, these look suspiciously like those ramparts that we see. This is the thing, like the shapes are the same, and this is what is generated from sound. So did whoever built these Starforts know about this? There's a lot of talk and a lot of research done when you look into sort of ancient structures and ancient societies and that, on sound, where they're using sound to move massive blocks and things. There's a lot of research done into it. So why wouldn't Starforts fall into that same category? Because they seem to be, they're definitely a lot older than we're told. They're all over the world. They were not built by the, sort of the first ones built by the Italians in the 1500s, and then everyone around the world just decided to build the exact same forts, the same style, in every country basically, in a 200-year period. I mean, come on. That story doesn't make sense. I mean, it might make sense if you only know of a few Starforts, but when you understand how many there are, it's just laughable. So these shapes, they're pretty cool, hey? You can just see in the middle, just always get the hexagons. I've seen, there's pentagons in there too. Look at that. Excuse me. Oh, there we have a boat wheel. Captain's boat wheel. Just all sound, guys. Piece of plastic filled with water, sitting on a metal plate, and they're playing tunes through it, and shining a light into it so that you can see what's happening. Okay, so Cymatics, guys, look, they are the same kind of shapes. They just are.
This is what came out of it after it got a little bit of funding. I'm going to turn the lights off for that one. It's called shrooms. I think it's fabulous. Name of the guy is Jerobim Fenderson, and you can buy the album and even have a vinyl of it. And I'll give you the video if you don't have an oscilloscope like I do. and gets totally psychedelic after that.
Alright, so what did you think of that, guys? Now that was an oscillator, and the shapes produced was because of, well, from music written by a guy called Jerabine Fanderson. He's obviously Scandinavian, and he's written this to make, specifically, he's written music, and it's based on mathematics and trigonometry and everything, and he's written it so that he can make an oscillator basically give us these shapes. So it's all to do with frequency, and as you could see in the video, as the frequency rises, the shapes get more complex. So here's just a few stills I took. Now this is the first one. You can see this is basically, it's a pentagon turning into a star. So it's a 5-sided pentagon there, and it's on the inside it's turning into a 5-sided star, which I found pretty interesting because we have all these pentagons in Starforts. This is obviously the pentagon, and this is a pentagon shape that is made before the star is made. And of course the pentagon is always in the middle. Then it goes out and we get, oh, how many sides has that got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That may be in the wrong position. That's a 6-sided star that's popping out. But because this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as well, I'm not sure. I'm sure I had a better picture of a 5-sided, but basically it goes from a 5-sided pentagon to a 5-sided star. And this one as well, see how this is kind of got this bit popping out from behind it? Like we've got the inside star and a bit popping out from it. I just found this really interesting because this is all sound. So an oscillator is it's basically the machine that you see for a heart monitor with the beep beep for your heart. So it turns sound into shape, into something that we can see, into a visible form. And as the frequency raises, this is what we're getting in this particular type of music, which I mentioned it's mathematically based. If you hear him talk about it, he goes all into, cosines and all that kind of stuff, trigonometry. So it's pretty in-depth stuff. And here's another one here. This is a much better 5-sided star. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you can see here, we've got a beautiful 5-sided star. And of course, in the middle, you can see we've got a pentagon. Now we have a 6-sided star. I must have used that picture twice. Okay, now we go to 6-sided pentagon. Pentagon? Yeah, no. Oh my god. We go to a 6-sided hexagon. Okay, so this is Fort Jefferson out in the Florida Keys, or out in the Bahamas. Florida Keys, I think. And here we have a 6-sided pentagon. Oops, jumped ahead there. So this is all going in order too, guys. This is how it was formed in that, on the oscillator. It started off with 5 sides, pentagon, then went to a star, then goes to 6-sided hexagon, then goes to a 6-sided star, which we have here. Here we have a nice 6-sided star. Bottom's missing a little bit, and so as the frequency raises, it gets more complex as far as we get more points, and we go from pentagons to hexagons to octagons, things like that. Very interesting bit of footage. So here we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-sided star, and here we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-sided star. And of course this has the inside star. This is how they made, you saw the footage. This is how they sort of pulse out. And you can see this has clearly got double stars, even a triple star there. So I just found the whole geometry very interesting, and that it's very similar. And again, this is sound. So are these Starforts, are they designed with the complexity as far as, the number of stars from 5 to 6 to 7 to 8? Is that to do with the energy points that they're on? So as far as the higher the frequency of the energy point they're built on, the more complex the star has to be, because it's matching or mirroring the energy frequency that's coming naturally from the Earth. This is what I'm thinking, guys. This is called the Mars tone. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked into these. I've got a few. You've probably seen there's some other pictures similar to this in the video. They're all different tones. Now, I'm not sure how they actually get them, but as you can see, it's just very similar geometry. I mean, look at this. We've got a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hang on, that's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8-sided. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one as well has almost these little ramp-up bits coming out, or, a double star, which you can see bits of this, see here, how it's got the sort of double star underneath it. You can see that there as well. So it's very interesting, and this is a tone taken from Mars. So this is obviously to do with electro-radiation that's given off Mars, and they've turned it into a cymatic. It's just very interesting how they all just match up, don't they? There's that one again. So, what do you think, guys? This is an oscilloscope. So we've seen an oscilloscope and we've seen some cymatics, and they are all frequency. They're all music frequency turned into something that we can visually see. And they just match up so much with the Starforts and the structures around them, the star cities, the citadels, all those bits. So it's going to warrant further investigation, but there's definitely a link here. There is definitely a link between sound and frequency and Starforts. Okay, so we've had a look at Cymatics. This is Cymatics again on the screen in front of us. And we've seen all the geometrical shapes that are produced from different, musical tones and frequencies and vibrations. This works, in water and on metal plates. We've also seen the oscillator, where clearly, the tunes were creating geometric patterns that were clearly related to Starforts, just the way that they expanded out from the pentagon and ended up as a sort of 8-9 pointed star. The progression of that, and we see this all across the landscape in the Starforts that we're finding, that we do have, the pentagons, the hexagons, the octagons, we have the 5-pointed stars, we have, 4-pointed citadels as well, and then up to sort of 8-9 pointed stars, and then we have the doubled ones as well, which takes it even further and makes it more complex. And with frequency, as we've seen, the higher the frequency, the more complex the shapes. And we ourselves are frequency. We are energy at vibration. Our body is obviously a lower vibration. It's a much more solid state, where things like our thought are a much higher vibration and a higher frequency. That's why we can't see thought. And things like sound and light, these are all different frequencies that travel at different ranges. And when we get into the visual frequency that we can actually see, we start to notice that the world around us is made up of geometry. It's everywhere. We've got, the Fibonacci sequence. All nature is basically built on that. And then if you look at nature, there are these shapes everywhere. Look at flowers, we've got the stars everywhere. We've got the hexagons. If you look at, things like beehives, and even, if you get close up on flowers, we have all these shapes. They're all through nature. Now we can see that they're produced by sound, and the Starforts seem to have the same geometry. So there's a definite link. And just as a side note, in the Christian tradition, in the Bible, it says that the world was created when God spoke the word. Now, a word is sound. If you look into other traditions, like Hinduism, say the world was sung into existence. Egyptian, I believe, was also a song. But if you look into all these religions, they pretty much all say that the start of everything physical was a sound. Sound manifests into physical things, and is this what has happened or is happening, with the Starforts? They've just manifested the physical vibration. They've manifested the vibration, the frequency into a physical manifestation of that frequency, a representation. And why? I believe that it's got a lot to do with harmonizing the world energy grid patterns, and basically so it stabilized things, so things were much more harmonious. At the moment we look around, we've got wars everywhere, we've got hunger and poverty, we've got horrible humans doing horrible things to other humans. So and then if we look at the past and what we're calling Tartaria and the past civilization, the old world, it doesn't seem to be like that. It seems to be a lot more harmonious, a lot more designed around geometry. Look at the buildings, and so is this what's going on, guys? They had the planet harmonized with these Starforts, and is that why the parasites are going so hard at the moment and trying to destroy them all, as they do with all old world structures? Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that one. Thanks for spending some time with me. Have an amazing day. Please give me a like, subscribe, give me a comment and share this content as well. Get out there, tell the world it's time to be autodidactic, because self-education is the way forward. Alright guys, have an amazing day, and I'll catch you on the next upload. Bye for now.